So there was an epiphany. One of the people in the Wednesday class, or in the Monday, Wednesday class in the afternoon, they were doing something that you guys, some of you have just discovered, which is they're looking at their drawing, they're going, wait, John, so what you're saying is this little tiny area that's inside the cone of vision, you're saying my entire picture needs to be in there?
Yeah.
Or a
Just make it bigger.
And I said, yeah. And he's like, so does your drawing need to be like?
No.
No. And I said, no, it doesn't. Because here, and I'll show you how to do that. I'll show you, because see, these are the questions I was thinking you guys would run into. Yeah.
I was working on like an 18 by 24 art project for one of my classes last year.
Yeah.
And I actually went out onto the driveway.
Oh yeah.
And like taped
well, you know,
on like
some
VPs and like
people
strings and
use, you know, it's not uncommon to see books talking about using thumbtacks on string, and you know, you don't have to do it, folks. Yeah.
Okay, so say like for character design, like, and say like the character's like, it's a geometric character. Would you incorporate all of these techniques? Like say like the triangle's like its head and like it's like a circle.
You could, if you wanted it to be absolutely perfect, yeah.
Yeah.
You could. You can make a perspective drawing that's so tight you wouldn't believe it. You know, I mean, because that's what they did for, you know, hundreds of years before they had computers. They would do it by hand. You know, they'd map it all out. Okay, you guys, let me show you a quick trick. And then I want to do the lecture, and then whatever time we have left, I'll answer your questions. Okay?
So big cone of vision.
All right. So you guys, listen, check this out. Check this out. There's some very cool stuff here. Let's say you have a line that's going like that. And you have a line that's going like this. And you know they're going to a vanishing point. But you're thinking, damn it, that vanishing point is like in Rev's laptop. You know, and I'm working on my lap. You know, I'm on location, you know, like I'm drawing something on location, and I realize I'm sitting down and there's a vanishing point like at the light pole 10 feet away, and another vanishing point that's 5 feet that way. Because again, you guys see that if you have a piece of paper like this, and let's say the whole piece of paper is here, let's say that's your 8.5 by 11 or whatever. Now do you visualize? Oh my God.
They're all like.
That means like the closest my vanishing points can be is like there and there, like 2 full sheets away at the minimum. Bingo. Which is why everyone does all these perspective drawings poorly. Okay, because they're not doing that. They're putting their vanishing point here and here, drawing everything, and then wondering why everything outside of that circle is out of, it looks funny.
This explains so
Yes. But now let me show you something really cool that you guys are all going to go, geometry is cool. Okay, watch this. So let's say I have these 2 lines. They're going to a vanishing point, and I don't want or can't find it in the distance. And I want to draw this line so it's converging to that same point.
Oh, I have an idea.
Wait. Well, let me just show you. So I'm going to draw an arbitrary line. Just like that. Okay, and I'm going to draw a parallel line, but also arbitrary. There, so those 2 lines are parallel.
Okay.
Okay? Watch this.
Oh my goodness. This makes so much sense.
Oh.
Very cool.
Because they're all parallel.
They're all parallel, so they create all the same angles, so they create the same relative locations. I know, I love geometry, it's amazing. Like, you know, and do you guys see how easy that is to do? You could do that freehand while sketching. You can just go, oh, it's like I've got this line and I've got this line. Okay, what's the view? Oh, it's going to go like that. And it's not something you're having to fake. That's as good as if you had the point over in Rev's computer, or over at the light pole. It's as good as taking a ruler to it. It's absolutely accurate. So that's a really cool trick, number one. That should help you guys a lot. But let me show you, actually, I'm going to try and do this. Okay, let's see. Can you guys help me keep an eye on the time here? Because this is going to be a little bit delicate. You guys, I'm going to try and go through the slideshow very fast. Faster than I would like to. There's going to be some cool work that you're going to want me to stop and spend time on, and I can't really do that. Yeah.
Could you post the slideshow on the Yahoo group?
It's too big. It wouldn't fit on the Yahoo group. It's massive.
Could you do certain?
I would say write down the guy's name, and you can look up and find most of the stuff online or something. The intro to the Cube City. All right, you guys. So, kind of just sit back and enjoy, because I want to show you where you're headed. Okay, so actually, let me turn the lights off. Make sure.
If I sit back and enjoy, you think we don't have to take notes?
Well, keep your eyes mostly up.
Perfect.
Is what I would do. Okay, here's. Let me give you an outline of where we're going, curriculum-wise. So you did the mechanical. So ideally, by next week, 5 cubes in a field will be no big deal. You can rotate them, move them, elevate them, work with distant vanishing points. All that is okay. Where we're going with this is the next step. What you're going to be doing this weekend is you're going to be thumbnailing out ideas for a cube city. Like imagine a city, imagine like dozens, hundreds of cubes, or cube-like objects. But mind you, in a city, there aren't that many vanishing points, because usually things are lined up. You see what I mean, into grids. So it's not much harder. It's actually, in many ways, it's easier than the 5-cube mechanical, because a lot of things repeat themselves. You can use the same 2 or 4 vanishing points repetitively and just build the thing. What it's really about is about kind of starting to see things artistically. Actually, this is how I would describe it. And Rev, put this in the notes, because this is a good way to put it. This assignment is about learning to use the perspective rather than having the perspective be using you.
Ooh, repeat that once more.
Learning how to use the perspective rather than have the perspective be using you. So you're going to be telling the perspective what to do to create a dramatic image that you want to make, rather than going, crap, where's my vanishing point? You know what I mean? That's the idea behind this assignment. So I want you to create kind of a city-like effect in an image using just simple geometric shapes. Okay? So let me show you how this is going to play out. All right. So it's going to be from imagination, that you're not going to have reference, and you're going to learn how to use atmospheric and linear perspectives to create an illusion of 3D space, a convincing illusion. Now, this next guy, this is going to mess you up.
No.
This is Shinji Kimura. Shinji Kimura is a industry guy who does a lot of work. Have any of you guys seen Tech on Concrete?
What?
Oh.
It's a book.
It's a book, and it basically is a lot of the visual development stuff for a film that was made in Japan. And this guy did the drawings for the city. He created this city basically out of his head. Check this out.
Oh my God.
Okay, but stop. Wait a second. They're just boxes.
Yeah.
They're boxes with windows on them. And occasionally something
I've
more
seen
complicated. Occasionally, a sloping roof. All those things I can show you how to do. What was that?
I was gonna say, I see a lot of ellipses.
There are some ellipses, but we're going to talk about ellipses and cylinders too. But do you see that really a lot of this is simple forms? but knowledgeably drawn. Yes.
One thing that's just so exciting about this class is I can already see our trajectory towards this.
Right, exactly. Now, I'm going to go through these faster than I would like to because I think this stuff is flippin' beautiful. And it's really just incredible. But what I want you guys to notice is I want you to notice how attainable a lot of this might seem now that you know how to draw boxes. I can, the stuff you don't know how to do in this, like the ellipses and the slopes, I can totally show you how to do that in a day. But most of it is boxes. And look, rotating boxes. God, I don't know how you would ever learn to do that.
By the end of the semester, can you go in?
Here's the thing. Actually, let me address one thing about that. Technically, yes. Technically, yes. If you learned the material in this class really well, technically you'd be capable of this kind of thing at the end of the semester. But here's what you're not capable of yet, and this is the thing that trips people up. You guys are just thinking of the technical stuff this guy is doing. You're not thinking of the intellectual design side. You're not thinking of some of the intellectual decisions he's making that are really smart. Some of the aesthetics, some of the sensitivities he has. Here's the way I would put it. There was one of the old basketball players, Charles Barkley, was on an interview show, and he was talking about how the career arc of a professional basketball player. And he said, what happens? He says, you're a young kid, you're 18 or 22 or something like that, and you come into the league, and you're young, you're fast, you're strong, you don't get tired, and so you make it just on your physical abilities. And then, after you've been in a few years, you start going, oh, and you see these crafty veterans doing things that have nothing to do with physical abilities, that are intellectual things about how you play the game and strategy things. And then you go, damn. So then you start learning that. And in the middle of your career, you're doing both, and you're pretty damn good. And he says, but then as you're a veteran, he says, you're slower. You can't keep up with the young guys anymore. He says, you can't run like that anymore or anything. But you're way better than them in thinking. And so you can basically outplay them just because you're smarter about how you're doing things. You know which plays you can affect and which plays you can't. You know how to psych the guy out so he makes a mistake late in the game. You know how to play him, basically. And so you guys right now, you guys are trying to learn how to run fast and play well. That's perfect. But that's what you can learn how to do. The design part is going to take a couple of years. But yeah, here's the thing though. I want you guys to try and do this. I want you to have this kind of ambition, because if you do, you'll learn a lot faster. You'll learn way faster.
When we're doing our Cube City project, do you want us to be...
I'll show some examples.
Okay, what I was going to ask just really quick was, like with this guy, you can tell he did not choose, like it was, kind of freehand in a way.
Yeah.
Are we going to be doing that? Or
We're going to talk about that before the end of the day.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm going to be doing some. I'm going to show you how to work out from a thumbnail.